Hey guys, today we have this 2016 Dodge Durango RT with I think it's a 5.7 liter V8. We're gonna be replacing the valve cover gaskets and the intake manifold gaskets. All right, let's get started. All right, first let's go ahead and remove the cover, engine cover, set it aside. Then we can start working on, look at these, it's pretty dirty. These are pretty dirty. I'm gonna show you what do we have, what are we working on. It's a lot of leaks here, it's dirty. So what we can do, we can start with, let's go to the driver's side. We're already here on the driver's side. So what do we have? Let's go ahead and unplug all the wires. I would unplug this for the coax. Let's go remove all that first. See this here? Let's go remove all this. And we got a hose here too. If you want to disconnect that, should be in a way. See that? Got oil there. Let's go remove these and the coax. Okay, to remove the injector plugs connector, you pull that red piece first up, then you press it here, then this should come out. There you go. So because we're gonna be replacing the intake manifold gasket too, we're gonna go ahead and remove this wiring, put it in the side so we have more room. We're gonna go ahead and remove that too, and you have this here that need to be removed as well. They just have to be slowly removed. It's this one. So do all that and set that aside. And we got one more here that might be in the way. This is the fuel. That's for the fuel. Go ahead and remove that. Oh, as you can see, that was out already, and that's gonna come out. And then you're gonna have fuel coming out, so you gotta make sure. Put some rag here, and that should come out too. Pretty easy. See this one. There you go. All right, so I got this connect harness is out. The fuel line is out for the fuel rail. This hose here is from the throttle body right here. To just disconnect that, and then another connector here. You'll be able to put this in the side as well, so you don't have to disconnect a lot. Put this in the side, give you some more room. Make sure you don't bend it as much. Same thing as that. This one should be good with this too. And then we can go ahead and remove the injector coil on the coil packs. But if you want to start with these two, you can remove this throttle body, this intake here, so you have more room. You can remove this too, but I'm starting with this side first. Okay, so all the bolts are out. I can go ahead, pull the coil packs. See that? Look at that. Look at that. This is like 2468 V8, but you got two spark plugs in each. All right, remove that, and then go ahead, remove all this 10mm around this valve cover on this side, and it should be okay. There's one harness here that need to be removed, so you got more space. Okay, so once we got all the bolts, they're 8mm by the way, there are 10 of them. You can remove them. Once that's removed, This is the only hose that you gotta be in mind. Might be in a way, but you should be okay. And what you're gonna do is put like a pry bar or a flat screwdriver. You're gonna pry this off very carefully because this is plastic. See that? It's gonna move. Once it's moving like that, there you go. That's out. It's not very hard. So because you have a wire here for the front side, you're gonna pull this back a little bit to the back side. When you let it out, pull it towards to the back or pull the wire down here a little bit to the back, then pull it up forward, and that is out. And that's it, guys. That's out. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean this area around it, make sure it's clean before we put the new gasket in. So a couple things that we need to remove is, of course, this gasket. This is pretty hard, but it's not as bad. It'll start leaking already, so you can see all those build up here. And these grommets we're going to be replacing as well. We do have new grommets for those. Let me see if I have it. There you go, new grommets. So we're going to be replacing that. Let's move it here. Okay, so we have the valve cover right here. We're going to go ahead. I kind of cleaned this just a little bit here. All the dust and dirt, grams is already out. I'm going to go ahead and remove these valve covers. Gasket. And this one, there you go. I've seen worse. This one is not brittle yet, but it's getting there. So let's remove that. And then this seal, the plug seals are built in as well. They're not built in, but it came with a gasket, so we're gonna be removing that as well. So came with that. And this one's a little bit more brittle, so when you're prying it off, be careful because these are plastics, so you gotta be very gentle on this so you won't crack the plastic. So this one is, yeah, this is old, crusty. So let's remove all this, and then we're gonna clean it again, make sure it's dry, and then we're gonna put the valve cover gaskets, the new one. I'm going to go ahead and put this brand new plug seals, spark plug seals, and they snug fit in there. Just make sure you push it, and it will get tightened later on. So all 4 of them, they are all the same sizes, so it doesn't matter which one is which. The other thing is the valve cover gasket itself. This might be, the 2 of them. This we are dealing with the driver's side, so not sure if they're symmetrical, but sometimes they are. So what you're gonna do, just like lay it there, and the one with the notch right there, that's the one going in. Okay, there you go. I think this is the right one. See, this one didn't match perfectly right here. I'm gonna try to flip it over if it'll fit that way. And this one's going in, so it might be the right one right here. It's just the other way around, so it doesn't mean it's the wrong one. You just have to flip it over. So these are good. These are all good right here. So while waiting for this one, the next thing we're gonna do, we can put this aside. Let's go ahead and grab this grommets for the bolts, and we have a brand new one here that we're gonna be replacing. The metal piece stays, but not this one. So this one just pop out. You can get a pliers, you can cut it. Let's see how we're gonna do it. I might get a cutter so I can remove it easy. Or let's try if this works. This trick works. Yeah, that works. So you just pop it out. 1, 2. There you go. That's out. And we get a brand new one here. same thing. Easy to go in. There you go. So we got a brand new one. We're gonna do for all of these, and then we're gonna go ahead now. Once we're done with this, we're gonna clean the top of the head before we install this one. All right, so we got the top of this cleaned off, so you can see pretty clean. Now we're gonna go ahead and put back the valve cover gasket. We just clean the brand new gasket, valve cover, make sure it stays in there, and then let's go ahead and put it back. All right, now it's time to put it back. Make sure all these gaskets are pressed down properly so it won't lift up, so it will seal properly as well. Then this looks symmetrical, but I'm gonna put it one way. With mine, I do have this little label here that's going towards the front of the car, so I'm gonna go ahead, put in the front. Let me go ahead, get these wires out. I'm gonna go ahead drop the back side first, and go ahead, put it underneath here by the wire, and while we're there, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my bolts with the new grommets. I just want to make sure they're aligned. Okay, this one's aligned up here. I'm just gonna install it by my hand with my fingers. I'm not gonna use any power wrench or anything. So let's put everything together with these, and then once it's aligned, we're gonna torque them with a torque wrench, and it has to be 8 Newton meter or 5.9 foot-pounds, or this is 70 inch pound. So, but it's 8 Newton meter, so we're gonna torque them down. All right, so hand tight them all, and then let's go ahead torque them to 8 Newton meter. I'm gonna start here in the bottom, the middle here, going out, and I start with the bottom because that's the one the way it's angled, so it should be leaking most likely from the bottom part, so that's why I start from the bottom. So I'm gonna torque all this, and then we should be done with this side. All right, let's go ahead and torque them. We start from the middle. And then from the top, we're gonna do it twice. Crisscross Z pattern. Get them torqued down. Let me get a smaller one here. So once we finish all of them, 8 Newton meter, and then we do it again twice, and that should be it. And we're gonna go ahead and install the coil packs. Okay, so once we torque them down, we can go ahead and put the all these coil packs, all of these, and then we can put that in. I am not gonna go ahead and put the wires back, the harness back, because I'll be doing the intake manifold. We're gonna repeat this process on the other side, similar process. The only thing with that is you got a couple harness here that need to be removed more. You might need to remove this whole thing here to slide out more, but it's be the same process. I'm gonna go ahead and continue with the intake manifold. All right, you might be wondering how I get this out. The passenger side valve cover. First, I had to remove these intake side to make more room. It's this wire that's in the way to do that, I had to remove this fuse box, this panel here, and underneath the fuse box holder there's 3 bolts. So you have, let's see, 1, 2, and 3, which is 1, 2, and down here, this third one down here. Let's see if I can get this out for you. It's kind of like that third one there. Then of course this has to be disconnected from that fuse box holder. And then this wire will have more room to go this side. And I disconnected at least a little bit with these dipstick. There's a bolt down here. Not a bolt, it's a nut to hold it. Let's see if I can show you real quick. Doesn't have much room here, but down here, that's the dipstick. Move that out so you'll be able to have the room to move this harness here. And I think that's it. Then loose everything out just like the other side. It's a little bit more extra work, but it's worth it. And now just go ahead, put the valve cover gasket and the seals, and then we can go to intake manifold. Okay, now we're gonna go to the intake manifold gasket. These are all done. We torqued them too on the passenger side valve cover gasket. For the intake manifold gasket, they have 8mm bolt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I gotta loosen one more there, and that should be it. And we have a connector in the back and maybe a hose back here, this one, but I can remove that once I lifted this up. But other than that, I think that's it, and I will try to pick it up. All right, this one you can just literally pick it up like that. See that? And we're gonna go ahead and remove it real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and lift it up. Be careful on this one. I think that just come out. And there's a hose back here I want to remove. Let's see if I can see it that side. I know there's another hose back there. Yep. Let's see if I can remove it from here. Okay, so back here, this is the hose that's connected there, and this is attached to it too. That's for the vent, I think, for transmission. This one you can just like disconnect that one from there. Let's see this one. Should be able to disconnect that so we can clean this properly. There's no clamp on this one. Just be careful not to break anything when you remove it. Should be out. Alright, that is out. Then we're gonna clean it up. Remove this out and clean it. Alright, so I got this area cleaned up, as you can see. I even cleaned the inside of that port. Vacuum it. The next thing I'm gonna do is the bottom part of this intake. Replacing the gasket. This is upside down. I might try some of those, just a little bit, and then replace that gasket. We got a new gasket here. Okay, so I'll pop all those old gasket there. And just clean this up with brake cleaner with a rag. Clean them all up before installing this new one. As you can see, there's more gasket in this small one here, small port here, and that one over there too. Do not forget that. Right after we clean it, I already put the new gasket around it. Same with this one here. Don't forget that hole. And then let's go ahead, install it back. When we install it, so you can see that's pretty clean. Don't forget to put this back in. This is like the heat shield on that one, and then 2 hoses. This hoses goes there, and there's one more that attached there, and then we're gonna torque it down. All right, let's go ahead and install it. Make sure it's dry. Got everything in. Okay. Make sure all the bolts are up. And then make sure you don't drop those gasket underneath before putting the whole thing back. Make sure you have that hose attached. Be easier. And then attach this one too. There you go. Then we can go ahead and drop the whole thing straight down. Got this harness too. Check underneath. Make sure you're going down pretty straight, and you didn't drop any, or you didn't pinch any wires. Harness. Same back here. Here you go. I'm pinching a wire here. The hoses, by the way, that goes on top. And you think you're flat enough, you can always go wrong with a gasket underneath. So I'm going to lift it up and check all the gasket if they're still in place. Everything's good. Slide it just a little bit. There you go. Then we're gonna go bolt it in, and then that's it. We put in back everything else. All right, so we're gonna torque it down. We start from the middle, which is here, from the middle to the other side, crisscross from middle to out, and we're gonna be torquing that to 12 Newton meter or 9 foot-pounds. Where is it? All right, 9 foot-pounds. Go ahead, torque it down, and then we should be putting back the rest. All right, so we got everything back. All the harness are back in. The hoses, of course. Don't forget this hose here. Put it back. Fuel line for the fuel rail will back. Connectors on the back. Injectors, of course, and the cold packs. This harness, don't forget that. Don't forget this harness and this rubber hose here. Put that back. What else we have here? Of course, same thing at this side. This harness here, don't forget that. And we already did that before. I believe that's it. And we put this back in, and that's it, guys. Before we start it, what we're gonna do is don't press the brake pedal. Just put the ignition to run position, so it will just cycle some fuel to the fuel rail before you actually start it. But this one's done. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.